The Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach Caleb Ross. Brought to you by Gibson's Tire Pros, Dreyer Physical Therapy, your hometown Allstate agent Lynn Norris, CBE, and Showtime Graphics.
Hello, Lion Nation. Welcome into the Prattville Lions Football Review. With head coach Caleb Ross, I'm Will Barrett, looking back at last week's monumental 20-3 shellacking of the Lee Generals in Stanley Jensen Stadium. Coach, great game.
Yeah, it was a big win. It was a big region win. Man, it was a big win. Probably the biggest win we've had since I've been the head coach, I'd say. I guess they're all important. They're all big wins. But as far as region, playoffs, and against a really good team. Lee was undefeated. Man, they had some really good players, did a good job, and I was just really, really proud of the overall effort. I will say this as a coach, man, I'm one of those guys that wants to be perfect, and my expectations really, really high, I guess. I thought we played phenomenal on defense, really 2 weeks in a row. We played good in spots on offense. I think I was a little bit frustrated by that we could have been better, but anytime you get a quality win in Region 2 against a team like Lee and kind of the way we did it, man, we're excited.
You go up 14-zip early, Coach, and the way the defense was playing, it felt like that was all the points we would need. And as it turns out, that was all the points we needed in a 20-3 victory. But your defense is now allowing around 10 points a game, which if you can do that, you'll win most of the games you play in. And Friday night was no different. When Lee steps off the bus, they definitely passed the eye candy test.
Right.
I mean, these are huge kids coming off that bus, and we didn't bat an eye. That defense came out and laid it to them from the start.
Playing with a lot of confidence right now on that side of the football, man. I'll say this, Coach Shook and our defense staff are doing a phenomenal job of great game plans on Friday night, of taking away what the other team does well, and we've made some really good game adjustments, man, throughout the course of the season where we thought we go into it and maybe a team shows us something that we weren't expecting, and man, of getting it fixed right away. That way we can kind of, any type of success other teams have, and we can get it stopped. So, and you got some guys, man, over there, and I know we'll talk more about, individual players here in a little bit, but guys like Mason Taylor, who I know I say every week, just continues to lead, and obviously the game Dashon Daniels had, which was phenomenal, man. Those guys continue to be leaders, and they get the other guys dialed in. And I'm telling you, there's a couple times when you coach and Friday pregame, our kids were at a different level. Man, they were ready to go, man, especially defensively, man. They were dialed in. I think they'd gotten, almost took it as a challenge if they heard how good Lee was. And Lee was good, and they are good. Our kids really took it as a personal challenge on defense to play that way. And, man, one of those, wow, I was impressed, even as head coach.
Oh, absolutely. You said before the game, you said it over and over again, that it may sound like coach speak, but this game has got to be won in the trenches on those lines. And Prattville really did that. They really controlled both sides of the line.
We did. Man, defensive line just really took over the game. Lee was really big on the offensive line and got some kids of some college prospects. But, man, our D-line just is really playing at a high level right now. And they couldn't they really struggled running the football on us at times. And when they tried to throw, man, they really struggled pass protecting. And having Dashon come off the edge, man, was really, really good for us.
No doubt.
And dangerous for them. But and I thought O-line-wise, we lost some battles, but we won a lot of battles. They had two really good interior players. Their 2D tackles were really big physical kids and playmakers. And they gave us a little bit of fits at times, but we ran the ball when we needed to. I mean, he had Keandre Powell had another 100-yard rushing night, 22 carries. So
workhorse.
He is, man, and he's just and it's good to see Jaden Kidd get back in there, have some nice runs, and James Myers provides a spark. So, yeah, I've been proud. And in the O-line, we don't have the size that Robert E. Lee has. We don't have the 6'4", 280 kids. You guys are a bunch of kids that are overachieving right now, playing really, really scrappy, playing tough. And you're right, it did come down to the trenches, and to me it always will, but it really did Friday night. And I know our D-line setting the tone early, which really, in my mind, made a difference.
20-3 was your final score. Prattville victorious over the Lee Generals on homecoming night at Stanley Jensen Stadium. Let's go to the highlights right now. Here is Franklin. He's going to give it off to Davis. Davis trying to get to the edge, and he will not get there. He is taken down to the 28-yard line. Dashon Daniels. The Generals punter heels down at his own 3-yard line, takes the high snap. They're coming after it, and it is blocked. It is blocked and rolling around at the 3-yard line. Given pursuit, it's in the end zone.
Still a scrum for it.
We got it.
And Prattville has the ball inside the 5-yard line of the Generals. First and goal lines from the 2. Here's a give to Powell trying to get to the edge. And Powell dives to the pylon. And Powell is in. Touchdown, Prattville. Here's Tyrone Franklin Jr. from the shotgun. Gives it off to Davis. And Davis is in a world of hurt. He is brought down behind the line, back at the 18-yard line. 4:27 to play. And here's Davis with a carry again. And he is smashed by 4 or 5 lines in the backfield. Led. Al Kramer loading the shotgun with 3 receivers to pick from. Throws across the middle. Got to complete to Bates. Bates at the inside the 15 down to the 12-yard line. A hair away from taking it to the house. And Kramer drops back to pass. Looking downfield. Steps out of pressure. Now he's going to try to run with it. He's got a man in the corner. It got him wide open. And it is a touchdown. Touchdown, Prattville. Second, 4th and goal. And there's another fade in the corner. And this double this time incomplete. Double coverage on D. Lewis, and it goes incomplete. 5 for Prattville from the 9-yard line. And here is Powell with the carry, trying to bump to the outside. He'll get there. 20, 25, cuts it back to the middle, 35, 40, and finally wrestled down to the 41-yard line. A big run by Keandre Powell gets in the running back spot, and Kramer throws across the middle. Got Thompson wide open at the 40, 35, cuts it back inside to the 31-yard line. Another great catch by Taylor Thompson. 32-yard attempt for Duke, well in his range. There's the hold, and there's the kick, and it is up and long, and it is beautiful. With 8:38 to play, flat, he's got a man wide open at the 5. And fumble out the back of the end zone. That's going to be a touchback. That's got to be a touchback. Yes, fumbled out the back of the end zone, and Prattville defense forces a turnover. And he's looking to that far side now. And the ball is loose on the ground again. Fumble, and the Generals recover it once again. Kramer loads that shotgun up and drops back to pass. Looking downfield, and now firing deep. He's got Bates running down the middle, and Bates makes the catch at the 50-yard line. 1st and 10 they go from the 50, and here is Kidd again with the carry. Going ahead across the 40 to the 35 to the 34-yard line. Jaden Kidd saying, don't forget about me. I'm a pretty good runner. Let's call it a 33. He's down to the 23. Duke kick is up, and it has got the length, it's got the distance, it's got the height, and it's got the goodness. 7 from the 50. Here's Franklin dropping the pass, looking downfield, firing deep, looking downfield, and this ball is intercepted by Cromlin. Cromlin at the 30, bringing it up to the 40, 50. Cromlin on his feet to the 40, and pulled down by his face mask at the 35-yard line. Clock on the move, under 4:20 now. Franklin the pass, looking downfield, now firing deep. Got a man down there, and this ball is caught. Ooh, incomplete. Knocked away at the last second.
By my boy there, Wade
White on top. Here's Franklin the pass again. Now throwing it deep downfield. And I believe this ball may have been intercepted, and it is intercepted. Trey Thompson again. And Kramer's going to give to Powell again. The ever-reliable Keandre Powell cuts it back inside. He's got a little room, 40, inside the general territory down to the 37-yard line.
With over 35 years of automotive experience, Gibson's Tire Pros has the answers.
Mo thinks we're having trouble with the curb. How should we fix that? Me and Mo are into the same girl. Who do you think she should pick? Do you guys think Mo's nose is too big?
Of all these questions, I feel like we should have been life coaches.
Nah, let's just stick to tires and automotive.
Yeah.
Gibson Tire Pros, we advise, you decide.
In our profession, we see a lot of remarkable recoveries. One thing that each success story has in common is the courage needed to take that first step. At Dreyer Physical Therapy Institute, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get the expert opinion you need, so we've made that first step free. Sign up for a complimentary screen at any Dreyer location today, and we'll assess your condition and recommend the best next steps to get you back on the road to recovery. Call or click today to schedule your complimentary screen. DreyerPT.com/screen.
I'm a teenage girl. My BFF Becky texts and says she's kissed Johnny. Well, that's a problem because I like Johnny. Now I'm emotionally compromised and whoopsies. I'm all, OMG, Becky's not even hot. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
Welcome back to the Prattville Lions football review. Visiting with Coach Caleb Ross. I'm Will Barrett, and it's time for our favorite section now, Coach. Time to go inside the Lions cage, and this time we're going in with our player of the week, as it were, Dashon Daniels.
Yeah, and when you talk about personality, if there's a Prattville dictionary of personality on football players, it's Dashon Daniels. Man, he's a real smart kid as well. Plays with an edge. And has got a really fun personality. If you wouldn't know how to take him, sometimes you may be a little bit standoffish on it. But I mean, he's a good young man. He cares, and he's a smart guy, and he's very cerebral at times. But he's a fun kid. I'm glad. I guess I'm saying all that. I'm glad people get to see who he is a little bit.
Absolutely, we love him, and you will too. Let's go inside the Lions cage with number 45, Dashon Daniels.
Trying to get to the edge, and he will not get there. He is taken down at the 28-yard line. Dashon Daniels.
Dashon Daniels, middle linebacker, class of 2020. McDonald's.
Go-to order.
A McChicken and a large CT. I think it was like Trolls or something. I would say 2. Act Up by City Girls. Denzel Washington.
Favorite movie by him?
Wow. It is straight there. Probably the Hulk. Fried chicken.
Any particular place from?
My grandma.
Good answer.
Miss Dubois, because she keeps it like straightforward and she'll do anything she can to help you. Cap, Ghetto Angels. I have 2. Clay Matthews and Aaron Rodgers. Biddle.
Are y'all good guys or bad guys?
We're gonna be bad. Coach Ross.
Well, let's see it.
Like, he gets like this, and then like, and he's always rocking his feet like that.
Do you agree that Harry Potter is like a huge problem and probably the least exciting character in the entire series? Like, he spent 7 years terrorizing his friends with his own problems, you know? Like, they had their own problems going on. And here comes Harry friggin' Potter just messing stuff up left and right. They had lives too, you know? They had lives. It's not about you, Harry. I mean, do you agree?
Sure. That's one of the best to ever do it. Hooray for Prattville, hooray for Prattville. Someone in the stands yelling hooray for Prattville. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me who you're yelling for. Prattville, that's who.
Woo!
With over 35 years of automotive experience, Gibson's Tire Pros has the answers.
Mo thinks we're having trouble with the curb. How should we fix that? Me and Mo are into the same girl. Who do you think she should pick? Do you guys think Mo's nose is too big?
Of all these questions, I feel like we should have been life coaches.
Nah, let's just stick to tires and automotive.
Yeah.
Gibson Tire Pros, we advise, you decide.
In our profession, we see a lot of remarkable recoveries. One thing that each success story has in common is the courage needed to take that first step. At Dreyer Physical Therapy Institute, we want to make it as easy as possible for you to get the expert opinion you need, so we've made that first step free. Sign up for a complimentary screen at any Dreyer location today, and we'll assess your condition and recommend the best next steps to get you back on the road to recovery. Call or click today to schedule your complimentary screen. DreyerPT.com/screen.
I'm a teenage girl. My BFF Becky texts and says she's kissed Johnny. Well, that's a problem because I like Johnny. Now I'm emotionally compromised and whoopsies. I'm all, OMG, Becky's not even hot. And if you've got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem like me.
Mayhem is everywhere, so get an Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
Welcome back to the Prattville Lions Football Review. Final segment here with Coach Ross. Coach, looking back on what was a great night of Prattville Lions football, I know there's a lot of individual performances, offensively, defensively, and I know you're going to talk about those special teams.
Yeah, man, that was probably the highlight to me of Friday night was the block punt, man. Coach Cherizal, who coached our wide receivers, is over our punt block team, which we call Pride and Joy, and he does a phenomenal job. And we thought we had a chance to possibly block one against them, and Javon Furlow made a great play, come off the edge, and you're talking about really changing the momentum of the game. And it really, we block it, we covered on the 2, score next play. It really kind of set the tone for the rest of the game that we were going to control this football game. So really great play there. Elliott Duke, 2 huge field goals. We had a situation there in the, I think, fourth quarter where we're 4th and 1, but we're up by 2 scores. And I knew, man, if we can make this field goal, it's a 3-score game, as good as our defense playing. I thought, man, if we make this thing 3 scores, this game's over. Yep. And he knocks it through from about 33 yards out, which right hash, that's not an easy kick. And he hit one, I think, from about 32, 31 yards earlier. So, man, he's doing really, really well. Once again, Colin Rogers hits 4 out of 5 in the end zone.
What a weapon.
It is a weapon, man. When the other team's got to drive at 80 yards, I mean, that's such a weapon. So, really proud of our special teams. Individual awards, man, defensively, like I said, D-line continues every week. I tell you what, Will McQuiston had a good week. He's just so smart, gets guys lined up, plays hard. And you look at, man, between Broderius Lewis, Tim Trotter, Dominique James, those 3 guys are just, and those 4 guys, including McQuiston, really dominant up front. The night Dashon had just was incredible. Mason Taylor's so steady. And then we kept challenging the secondary, got a few pass interference calls, but man, I thought had to cover because every one of their receivers about 6'2", 6'3".
At least.
We had a task, and man, they did a really good job. Safeties are playing well. Wade White, Jameer Cromlin, man, continue to be, man, run supporters. Man, they're playing. We're playing at a high level right now on defense. And Ian Jackson, I tell you, is playing well. And a kid I'm probably really proud of, who stepped up the last 2 weeks, a kid named A.P. Coleman, who's really moved. Who's we've said all along has got the ability to play. Mm-hmm. And he's finally, man, getting his opportunity and doing really well. He's had 2 really good weeks, so proud of him. Offensively, we already talked about the offensive line. We had to make with Levi Lowry out last week, and maybe we'll get him back. Hopefully we'll get him back this week. We had to move Ethan Biddle over to center. And, man, for him not really having to play that position much, he did a good job, man.
Sure
really
did.
Proud of that. Man, like I said, I think for 2 weeks in a row, our quarterback's made plays. Probably hadn't been his best games, and he knows that, but he's made enough plays, man. He still does some good stuff, and hit some nice throws. We hit a little play action. I know a little tight end seam ball, which is play action off our buck sweep, which was really good. And really big night for Alterius Bates. I think he had 8 catches. He's just so dynamic with the ball in his hand, and a steady night for Kendrick Rogers. And I know we mentioned him earlier, but man, Keandre Powell, another 20-plus carry game, and another night where he had over 100 yards rushing.
Yep.
So, I mean, we're going to have those type performances down the stretch. And you know, here we are, we're 5-1, and man, I know we'll talk about JD here in a second, but.
Yep.
These guys I mentioned are individual performers. Man, we want them to start playing their best ball, and they're starting to do that, man. And so I'm really excited.
Everything you want is still in front of you to get. And you said this last stretch of the season as we roll on. Thursday night, we go to Crampton Bowl to play JD, a Thursday night game, a short week this week. Talk a little about, you said Friday night that JD is a much improved team from the beginning of the season. They won their last 2 games. Now they're playing with a lot of confidence, and it's going to be a tough night Thursday.
It is. Anytime you go to Crampton Bowl, it's a tough venue to play in. And JD's playing really good football. A lot of respect for what they do. Their head coach, Lee Carter, is a friend of mine, does a really good job. Really good offensive mind, really challenges you from a defense standpoint, gets you in a lot of multiple formations, things like that. And Jeff Davis is always going to have talented athletes. So we're going to have our hands full there. They are playing with a lot of confidence. They're starting to score some points. And they're starting to stop people too, man. So it's going to be and it's a short week, and we're coming off a pretty emotional win. So the challenge is getting our kids focused in. And we talked about the individual performers a while ago. Even though our kids are playing good, there's so much room for improvement just from all across the board. So we hadn't really played our best game yet. And man, I'm hoping we're going to have to start playing our best games as we make this stretch. And we're playing good football. I don't want to downplay that, but you got it's a game that we better be dialed in, because JD, who is playing better, and they can catch you by surprise. So, and you know, it's Region 2. Every week in Region 2 is dangerous.
Absolutely, it is a juggernaut in Region 2. Well, Coach, congratulations on a big win Friday, and we look forward to another big win this Thursday at Crampton Bowl as we take on the Volunteers of JD. Kickoff is at 7:00 at Crampton Bowl. Make sure you get there early, get there loud, support this team. It's not a long trip, about a 20-minute drive from Prattville over to Crampton Bowl. We need to see you all there, Lion Nation. That's all for us for the Prattville Lions Football Review Week 6. For Coach Ross, I'm Will Barrett saying good night, God bless, and go Lions.
The Prattville Lions Football Review with Coach Caleb Ross. Brought to you by Gibson's Tire Pros, Dreyer Physical Therapy, your hometown Allstate agent Lynn Norris, CBE, and Showtime Graphics.